Hey guys, and welcome back. SG Leo here, and in today's video, I wanted to go over the possible future for Lost Ark. So let's get into this. Alrighty, guys. So I wanted to talk about the potential future for Lost Ark for a while, actually, just because a lot of MMOs have been coming out, a lot of massive RPGs have been dropping. You've got games like Elden Ring. WoW's been around for a long time. New World just dropped not that long ago and is already kind of hit the shitter. Really isn't as popular as people were expecting it to be. And I kind of wanted to go over where I thought Lost Ark would be. Now, Lost Ark has quickly become one of my favorite games to play. I genuinely enjoy it. All this footage you guys are watching is just, from my stream. And I love this game, right? I haven't got to play it as much as I want to, which might hinder my opinion a little bit, but please understand I'm trying to come at this thinking as a person who has never played an MMORPG, and I am a new person coming into an MMORPG. That's how I'm kind of going at this. Where would the future be? So the date today is the 5th, so keep that in mind. So the 5th of March. So as of today, there are about 1 million active players right now, according to the Steam graphs, right? There's about 1 million people right now playing Lost Ark. With the highest, being about 2 million, I believe, at one time. And I wanted to talk about a few of the other, RPGs problems and MMORPGs problems, why they have been failing, and then I want to talk about where Lost Ark, according to me, what I believe, where it'll be. So first off, we have games like Elden Ring. We have games like New World. Borderlands 3 came out not that long ago. Things like that have just, everyone had high hopes for them, and they've just kind of dwindled out. And I'm going to talk about that. So first we have New World. New World came in on the scene, and everyone was super excited about it. Now, you can kind of give New World a little bit of leeway because they kind of had this game that was supposed to be this amazing, awesome PvP MMORPG, right? Like a hardcore RPG. Now, that genre is not extremely popular in the first place. And when they realized that, it was a little too late, and they had already basically built the game around that. And so then they just decided to add in a bunch of PvE stuff, and it just didn't work out, right? And by the time they started fixing everything and really making it into the game that it should have been in the first place, too many people had left. And I think that also tends to be the main issue with a lot of MMORPGs that are coming out nowadays, is they release something that isn't the vision they had for it, and then it just flops because the vision they had for it would have been a really good game and would have been really fun and entertaining, but it wouldn't have made them the optimal amount of money. So they go this other route, and then they realize if they would have went the other route, they would have made money, actually. They just are too scared to try something different. And honestly, that's what I kind of like about Lost Ark. Lost Ark seems a little bit different. Now, it's not anything major, drastically different, but it adds just a little bit of tweaks to everything. It's not a perfect game by any means, but I think it adds a lot of fun, and I think the player base is going to sit around about 300,000 or 400,000 once everybody's kind of once the hype has died out. I think it's going to be another mainstay. I think between this, Final Fantasy 14, and WoW, these will probably be the three mainstays in the West right now. I don't see Lost Ark dying out completely, especially since they're going to be releasing new classes soon. They're going to be, I think they're going to be updating constantly. I think Amazon is going to kind of shift their focus from New World to Lost Ark. Because why wouldn't you? Honestly, Lost Ark has been received much better. Lost Ark has its flaws and has its downsides, but honestly, for the most part, you can kind of breeze through them without ever noticing them. I'd say the main issues with Lost Ark are kind of the story's pretty linear. You kind of exactly know what's going to happen. So the story really doesn't captivate you too much. The side quests are really basic. Walk 5 feet, grab this, walk back that 5 feet, drop it down. It's nothing crazy. Like they're not making you feel involved really, but the combat feels so fucking good. Like the combat is so good. Every hit feels amazing. Every punch, kick, shot, sword swing, you name it, it feels amazing. It feels like you have a genuine impact on what you're doing. The game isn't overly hard for the most part. Like you're never gonna really struggle. But it does get a little bit more difficult. You are gonna be having to watch your health bars a little bit as you get into some of the tougher dungeons later on in like the main story and on the maps and stuff like that. So the game gives you a lot to work with and a lot to play around with. And I think that's the main reason why a lot of people have been able to stick around. See, the thing is with like New World and even now Elden Ring is a lot of these games they don't have anything that you're gonna stick around for. New World kind of was like, hey, look at our end game, but the end game was exactly as the early game. It was the same thing, same type of mobs. Everything was just some type of humanoid creature, zombie, something like that. And the boss would be some weird snake lady once in a while, and you're like, oh my god, that's kind of cool. But for the most part, the late game in New World was the same as the early game, and it didn't offer you anything to stick around for. It was just a grind fest. Where yes, Lost Ark feel it can be a grind fest, especially in the later game. But there's other things you can do. There's other things you can look for. You can go back to other areas and try to complete your adventurous tome. You can do rapport quests. You can do stronghold management, upgrading, all that stuff. Like there's constantly things you can do that you don't like. You don't if you don't want to do a bunch of dungeons right now, you can do something else. And I just genuinely think that the game is going to last a long time just based off of the fact that I think Amazon is doing the right thing in pulling the resources from New World. They're not doing it yet, but I think this would be the right move. Is to pull the resources from New World and just put it all into Lost Ark. Release solid, good DLCs, solid, good updates that are patching certain things. Like right now, the Paladins and the Warriors are ridiculously overpowered. Now, it's so are the mages. They're ridiculously overpowered. I play the martial artist. Like, I understand that there's just going to be characters that more people are going to be drawn to. Like, obviously, the warrior is just always going to be a popular class. Warrior is always going to be a popular class because who doesn't like being the tanky guy that can also dish out damage, right? It's a great user-friendly play style. Anybody who's new to games like this, that is the class I would recommend. Just play warrior, learn the basics of the game because you don't have to worry about anything really. You're going to do good damage. You're going to, be able to take good damage. But I play martial artists, and there's like 4.4% of people in the North American server play that class. So I think they could do a little bit more balancing because I think a lot of people pick these other classes for like their secondary, and eventually I feel like it becomes their main character just due to the fact that the character is so strong. That class is just so strong. But yeah, I genuinely feel like this game's gonna stick around. I've got like 100+ hours on it right now. I've been grinding the crap out of it, both on and off my stream, just because it's fun to play. It's really fun to play. It's fun to get into. The environments are cool. The mobs and enemies are all slightly different, and they have little quirks and tweaks to them all, and they do different things that kind of keep you on your toes a little bit. Like I said, you're not really going to struggle in the PvE apartment until quite a bit later into the game, but for the most part, the game does a really good job of keeping you interested in the game itself, right? And that's really the main thing. That's really the main thing is giving you things to feel accomplished for. Like the game isn't like Borderlands or like some of these really low-end RPGs that try to get you to stay by just throwing a ton of loot at you. You get good amounts of loot in Lost Ark, but you're not going to be getting, you're not going to be getting better gauntlets and better weapons every time you fight a slightly higher level, enemy. You got to work for your stuff. It takes a while to find everything, and the game is definitely meant to be played over a long period of time. They definitely have set the standard for this game to be kind of like, yeah, you can power through and get to level 50 and get to end game and start grinding to max your loot. But after that, there's a ton of other stuff you got to get. There's a ton of other things you need to obtain if you want to actually have like that perfect 100% playthrough. And so, it's definitely going to be a longer game. It's definitely going to be something that it isn't for everybody. Just based off of that, like how long it would be to actually complete the game fully. But if you're looking for a fun MMORPG that's honestly just going to get you through it, I think this game's going to be a mainstay. I do. I think it's going to end up being a mainstay. But anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, and of course subscribe. Let me know down below what you think is going to happen with Lost Ark. Is it going to stay around? Is it going to die out? Is it just another phase right now? But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body in Harvard above me.